I don't always post videos on Sundays, but when I do, I'm holding a cat and referencing really old memes. Hello, zine friends, and hello from Asimov. Asimov the Zine Cat, and hello from me, your resident zine enthusiast. If you are new here, this is probably not the video to start with because this is going to be a long sit down and chat sort of video. I will try to keep it as short as possible, but for your sake as well as the sake of my throat. But yeah, it might be a little long given my ability to ramble. Anyway, so speaking of my throat, I don't know if I sound funny still. If I do sound a little bit funny, I apologize. I'm still having some issues that I have found the reason for, and I'm also using a brand new inhaler temporarily, and it's a powder one, so it makes my voice a little bit funny. Anywho, the accent, on the other hand, was not provided for by the inhaler. Please forgive me my discombobulation. I really wasn't planning on making this until I woke up at I don't know, whatever, not supposed to be awake o'clock this morning. Things have kind of been, I don't want to say a blur, but things have been a lot since Thursday. So I thought I'd just give you a little bit of a rundown, and I wanted to have everything in one place and just do a video because, I gotta say thank you for some stuff because that's what I do, and that's what I love to do. And I really hope the fact that I say thank you a lot doesn't take away from the impact of it, or if it means less. I don't want it to mean less because I thank people a lot. I'm just really grateful, especially today. But I told myself I wouldn't cry. Anyway, so Zine Cat. Hey Bubba. Can I put you down now? He doesn't seem impressed with that idea. But we'll see how we go. He might demand to be lifted up again. And I know some of you love Asimov, so happy to comply. Anyway, so hi. I hope you're having a great weekend. Stuff's been happening which made me feel like I wanted to put a video together kind of explaining. I wasn't planning on any of this. I wasn't planning on putting out what's been happening and stuff like that. I was just going to quietly deal with it and everything. But I was really sooking. I was sulking. I was pouting last night, Australia time. And now here we are. So I thought I'd explain things. And so grab your cuppa. I have one here. And yeah, so I'll explain what's been going on and what's happening. So in June or so, I did a sleep test, and my former doctor didn't let me know the results. I followed up, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. I ended up going to a sleep specialist on my birthday, on Thursday, and I found out that I have severe sleep apnea. The sleep specialist was very nice about it. He was very funny, very sweet, but he made it very clear that this is something I need to take very, very seriously. And yeah, it was kind of, you get a bunch of graphs and a bunch of numbers, which are kind of just overwhelming. And I'm just like, okay. But he explained everything, and turns out that my body just can't be arsed with the whole breathing thing very much at night, and I am stopping breathing a lot at night, with some of the longest incidents of not breathing lasting more than a minute, which is not good, obviously. Your brain likes oxygen, and that's not a good way to get oxygen, the whole not breathing thing. So, oh my goodness. So I have heard of sleep apnea, kind of in passing and things like that, but I hadn't really looked into it. I didn't basically know much about it other than it happens often to people who snore, or people snore because of it, and you stop breathing. But beyond that, I didn't really know. So it's been kind of a crash course, and a bit of a scary one at that, to be honest. This stuff is happening when you're sleeping, and there's such a feeling of vulnerability. You're sleeping and there's this stuff happening, and you can't really do anything as such, without assistance, that is. That's coming up. And so yeah, it's kind of this weird, scary thing that just happens while you're sleeping, and it's just okay. But yeah, so it was kind of freaky to there are entire minutes. I can go over the numbers if anybody's interested. I have the forms on a folder somewhere of my numbers and everything like that. But yeah, he's this is the sleep specialist is this is not good. That he showed me one of the graphs you get is how much you toss and turn at night, and he said, look at this, I am tired just looking at how much you toss and turn at night. It's oh, okay. So anyway, I did say I'd try to make this short and sweet. So as scary as it is, and I am still kind of scared, to be quite honest with you, it is so nice to have answers. It is so nice to have answers, because this explains so very, 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 very much, and possibly even more than I'm realizing or able to know at the moment, because you have to get the sleep side of things in order, and then you can deal with stuff am I a restless sleeper, or is this just all because I stopped breathing so much? Is my body trying to wake me up? How much of it is my autoimmune disorder? Because not only does the disorder or disordered disease, anyway, not only does that impact my sleep, but the meds I take for that impacts my sleep as well. So there are a lot of things to untangle, but I guess the silver lining in all of this is that once you get the sleep figured out, it's like the trunk of a tree. It impacts everything. Once you get the trunk and the roots of the tree right, your tree might shoot up and do all kinds of I did not plan on this tree metaphor, so again, I apologize. But yeah, once you get your trunk and your roots properly sorted, who knows how many ways it can positively impact your life. But there were big things, obviously. My being always tired. It's nice to have that explained. Basically, going by the numbers, the specialist told me that to feel like I would have to sleep 15 hours to feel like maybe I had about 4 hours of quality sleep. So that was kind of oh, wow. But obviously, obviously I'm not staying in bed for 15 hours a day. Some days I do. I'll be quite honest with you. Some days I do, or I have to, because I just can't function there. But yeah, having that explained, more and more over the past months, there have been times where I've been sitting at my desk working on something, and I'll have to put my head down and just take a little mini nap because I just can't function. And my coffee consumption, I wasn't much of a coffee person, to be quite frank, and now I'm drinking multiple coffees every day to be able to function. And all these throat issues, it's I get strep, I get tonsillitis, and then the sleep apnea comes in, and they're like in this really toxic three-way where they're all setting themselves off, and it's like, well, okay. So that explains why I've had so many rounds of antibiotics, because this just keeps coming back, because these three elements just keep feeding into each other, and I'm already immunocompromised because of the meds I'm on, and it's just, yeah, it's a bit of a cluster farm, but at the same time, it's like this one thing, solving this one thing could change my entire life, and it's amazing. And I've been joking, like, I get this bouncy and everything, and bouncing off the walls and stuff like that, and I am majorly oxygen and sleep deprived. Imagine what I might be like if properly oxygenated. Anyway. So, yeah, that's what happened, and and I got back. I had my birthday cupcake, and I just decided not to think about it for the rest of the day, which is the night, because it was a really late appointment anyway. But they were really kind. They got me in very quickly because of the severity of everything. Anyway, but Friday started the research on what you need, and there are machines that constantly force the air, and there are machines that don't. There's like humidifier attachments, and then there's like 4, 5, 6 different kinds of masks and everything, and then you have the cost of the machine, but then you have the cost of the mask, and then you have the cost of the tubes, and it's a lot. And to be quite honest with you, Saturday night I was sulking and I was sooking, because this, along with it being like a lot as far as information and equipment, it's a lot financially. I've looked around. I was told basically that each state has its own budget as far as public access for CPAP machines, and South Australia went through their budget by June, I think. So as far as any sort of public assistance, it would be January at the earliest. But given I have had strep throat issues and stuff like that for a month already, rounds of antibiotics for a month, and just the severity of everything, like, it's okay, you can just wait until January. It's more like, get a machine, then get a time machine, and give this CPAP machine to yourself like months, if not more than a year ago. So there's that. So Saturday night, last night, I was sooking something fierce. How do I put this? I like to be positive force and stuff like that, and I don't want to hide when I'm having a bad day, but I don't want to complain either, because I am very fortunate and lucky in many ways. But sometimes it gets to me, and last night was one of those times, because I realized that I can't do zine trades for a while. And zine trades are a huge part of the zine community, and being a zine maker and everything like that. And it made me sad, because it's not, I can't do zine trades for a week or a month. It might be much longer, because shipping costs once again went up in June or at the beginning of July, and they were already expensive and stuff like that. And I was sooking, because as much as people send mail for Happy Mail Monday and for review and stuff like that because they want to, I still like to send mail back to people who send me zines. I like to buy zines when I can and support the community that way, and zine makers and all that stuff. And all of that has to stop, unfortunately, because I did look around online, but my preference, if I may be so bold as to have one in this, is to go locally for the machine, because there are local techs who can explain everything. We can, like, they have mobile numbers, and we can be like, questions can be asked straight away, things can be repaired or replaced straight away, that sort of thing. My preference is to go local because of those reasons. I don't have to wait necessarily for shipping times and all of that if something goes wrong. And so the quote from them was, for the machine alone, it can be about $1,700 to $2,300. And that's just the machine. The masks can be around 200. I think 200 is the average. It depends on what kind of mask you get, what mask you need, because certain masks are good for back sleepers versus side sleepers, but there's also a matter of certain masks are better when you need high pressure. Sorry, my voice is starting to go and I'm sounding really funny, so I'm sorry about that. But certain masks support certain pressure settings. I don't know what kind of pressure settings I need right now. I do have a prescription that has all that listed for when I do see the tech. I am going to see a technician, the local sleep company, on Tuesday, just to figure out exactly what mask I need, what machine is best, given all the specialists specifications. That's a tongue twister. And so I will, but that was the price range they gave me for just the machine itself and kind of the average for the mask. Yeah. Sorry. Sorry about that. So like I said, I was looking because everything pretty much has to stop. I'm on a fixed income. I'm not ashamed of that. It is what it is. I am who I am. And but it does make things difficult. But I did, because I get approached about trades a lot, and I really, 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 really dislike telling anybody no. I figured I'd just make a big, a kind of a blanket announcement and just say I can't do trades right now. And I was feeling a bit sorry for myself, and so I mentioned, I have to, kind of figure out how to get $2,000, if not more, put together as soon as humanly possible so I can get on one of these darn machines and start turning my health around. Sorry about that. I shouldn't apologize. It's perfectly natural because I posted about it and I was very sorry about not being able to do trades and stuff like that, and or be able to send mail for a while. And some people asked if they can. They asked if I had a PayPal, basically, to help with it. And I didn't expect that. I had thought about the possibility of maybe doing some sort of fundraising because I just don't have that kind of money. And I've been scrambling, trying to figure out what to do, how to put it together, and how to put it together as soon as I can. And yes, people asked for my PayPal, and I was just like, I don't feel, I wasn't sure if it was okay because I don't have an exact amount. I just have that range of cost for the machine. So it's at least $1,700 and at least $300 for the mask, that kind of range and stuff like that. And I said, well, and I believe it was Kit who said, well, sounds like it's gonna cost a lot anyway, so I'm like, fair point. And people started donating to help put together some money for the CPAP. And I, your resident rambler, your lover of words and bumbling on and stuff like that, am struggling for the words to truly express the gratitude I have for not only being asked, what's your PayPal, but for the support people have been showing. People have been messaging, wishing good wishes for health and stuff like that. People have been donating directly through my PayPal. Some people have been ordering some zines. I know I don't have a lot of new material out there. My head is still very much spinning a lot because I feel like I'm so lucky and fortunate to be able to do what I do, and people being willing to send me zines. So to have any additional support beyond that, especially for something that, by all reports, because along with their good wishes and donations and to help raise money for the CPAP, people have been sharing their stories, and I had no idea that sleep apnea affected so many people, and these sleep disorders affected so many people. And sleep is a foundation of your health. It is so important, and we live in a society that really promotes the productivity at the cost of all, including your sleep, including and especially your sleep, when it is so, even beyond what I previously realized, so important to so many facets of your health that you don't even realize. Well, most people don't even realize. And so I don't even know the word for it. I'm immensely grateful, and I am I was gobsmacked to put that word out there, that people are so helpful, because there's self-worth stuff in there, of course, there always will be, but yeah. So anyway, my head is spinning very, very much, and I just wanted to get everything in one place, and just especially because it explains so much beyond tiredness. It explains all the throat issues and things like that. But more than that, I can't thank people enough. People sharing their stories and saying, oh yes, I know this person, or I had to use one of these machines, and it turns lives around and stuff like that. It gives me so much hope for getting my health into a much better place now that I have this cornerstone, linchpin, whatever word you want to use for it. Now that I have this thing that I can focus on, this thing that is so important, that is fixable with a very expensive machine. So I'm looking at the time now, so I will try to wrap it up, but I will just say, seeing as people have started anyway, I have adjusted my goal on Ko-fi to be a CPAP machine. I have been keeping track of everything that comes in terms of direct to seagreenzines, as well as Etsy sales and stuff like that, and I'm updating the Ko-fi slider as those things come in. And yeah, I just this all just kind of happened, and it's all thanks to the generosity and support of incredible people that I am honored to know. There are people I haven't even spoken to who have come out to send a heart emoji, or say, to share their story, or their friend or their partner's story, or their family story about sleep apnea and other sleep disorders, and just how much it impacts their lives. So I don't know. I mean, I have some notes, but I do feel like I'm still a bit discombobulated and all over the place. But I wanted to say that I'm not if you can't, if it puts you in any sort of strife in any way, please don't put yourself in strife for my sake. It'll get sorted out one way or another. But to everybody who's donated, to everybody who's commented, to everybody who's sent a private message, to everyone, just thank you. It's been amazing. I was kind of squaring my shoulders and kind of like, all right, squaring my shoulders, digging my heels in, and I had to deal with this alone. But clearly that is not the case, and I am so infinitely grateful beyond words to be a part of this community who is so supportive and kind and giving and sharing and generous and all these wonderful things. It's an honor to be a part of you. It's been an honor to be your fairy zine mom since 2010 is when I was doing this. I think my fairy zine mom ascension happened after that, but anyway, it's truly an honor, and I'm grateful, and I am already trying to figure out ways to pay it forward as I can, as soon as I can, and repay the kindness that, even as we speak, is being shown to me. Because that's my life. That's my life purpose, and I'm very discombobulated receiving such kindness and support when my identity is so much around I want to give, I can't do much, but maybe I can make you smile, that sort of thing. And it's just yeah, but I'm babbling super lots now. So I will wrap it up and just say thank you one more time to everybody, to everyone who has, is, and will do anything, anything. I'll have the direct PayPal email in the bits and bobs, but otherwise I'm keeping track of all the money from all the places. I'm keeping track of it all on my Ko-fi page if you want to see how that's going at any time. So thank you once more. Upward and onward. Cross fingers for me that I don't need a full face mask or anything like that. Yeah, I don't know what else to say right now. It's just thank you. There'll be more to come. My head's just still very much getting around everything, especially the amazing community that I'm honored to be a part of, truly. So thank you. Until next time, I will be here tomorrow, as per usual, with Happy Mail Monday. So, pardon me. Yep, that's definitely starting to go in and out. So, until next time, with all of my heart, thank each and every one of you. Make some zines, have some fun, and give yourself credit for all the sunshine you're spreading.